Hey guys, today is January 15th, 2022, Saturday. And yesterday I wanted to post that video, but I ended up posting it today because, yeah, you know, it's hard, honestly, when I just feel like, oh my gosh, like you do something and it's like the perfectionistic side of me is just like, oh, is that good enough? Oh my gosh. And then I was just like, oh, I don't know about that. Like maybe I can re-record it. And then I like saw it again. I'm like, you know what, Sharon, just post it. Like, stop overthinking things. Like I told myself yesterday and like the day before and New Year's and every single day I'm like telling myself to stop overthinking, and I constantly do that to myself, but I just posted it and yeah, I don't know. But I kind of like this, like just vertical style video logging diary style kind of thing. It really just makes me feel like I'm talking to people on FaceTime. um, so yeah, I just want to record these stuff and then see where it goes. I want to share just the things that I'm learning, and I want to just share life with people. And something that I've been thinking about today is on the fact of, like, for example, like starting YouTube, like why it's been so hard. And if you can look at my channel, like I've created like videos before, and there have been many times where I'm like, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And then I just stop because one, it's like so time consuming to edit everything, and it just like, I don't know, I feel like because life gets busy and stuff like that, and then sometimes I just get discouraged because I'm like, oh, like this is boring, or oh, like this is not good enough, or, and I think also, like I was talking with a friend about this today, and a big realization that I had is for so many years, I think, like for example, like starting YouTube or things like that, like a huge limiting belief that I've had personally is just this thought that like I'm not worthy enough to put myself out there. And it's like, it's kind of funny, or a little bit funny and scary to just say that. Well, funny because it's like, oh, like that sounds dumb. Like, like what do you mean you're not worthy? Like, are you worthy enough to put yourself out there? And scary because it just, I feel kind of exposed talking about this and vulnerable talking about this. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but I think it's hard because you look on YouTube, you look on Reels or TikTok and all these things, and like you always see people who just look so perfect. Like they have perfect skin, they just have like, they just look perfect, and it just makes me feel like, oh, like, am I good enough to put myself out there? And then you start comparing yourself to all these different people, and you just feel like you're not good enough. And I feel like I kind of felt like that, like, oh, I'm not good enough. Like, oh, who would look at me, or something like that. And it just made me realize, like, oh my gosh, that's so terrible. I should be loving myself. And like, this is something that I talk about and that I'm passionate about, like, on the topic of learning to love yourself. And that's something that's been on my heart, and I talk about this actually on my podcast on Millennial Life School about learning to love myself, and like the different struggles that I've had with that, and just the realizations that I've had. And realizing in your head is one thing, but actually like knowing it in your heart, I think, is another. But yeah, so that's something that I've been just like thinking about and realizing, and I'm like, oh man, like I really need to love myself better. And I really need to believe in myself better. Because I've realized, like, okay, a million people can believe in me, and a million people can be like, Sharon, like, you're great, you're great, you're great. But if I don't believe in myself, like, those million people's opinions don't matter. But if a million people say, like, oh, Sharon, you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it, but I'm like, I believe in myself, I think I can do it, then like those million people's opinions really don't matter. But yeah, like I think one, like recognizing your limiting belief is very important, and that's actually something that I work with my clients. You know, when we were like, okay, talking about limiting beliefs, it's like one, like you have to recognize your limiting belief in order for you to move forward. And so I think it was huge for me to realize like, oh, okay, like maybe the reason why like it's been so hard for me to like start YouTube, or even like for like some people jokingly would say like I'm an influencer, and that like kind of freaks me out because I just couldn't see myself in that way. um but yeah, I realized, you know, like that's all just so dumb and so stupid, and like I need to move past that. Like really, it's not helpful for me, it's not helpful for other people. And like the things that's inside my heart is I'm just so passionate, and I want to just encourage and inspire and empower people. Like that's all I want to do, you know? Like I want people to feel like they're heard. I want people to feel like they're seen. And I want people to know who they are and walk out in the fullness of who they are created to be. And I think constantly I also need to affirm that over me and walk in that, and just show up and just be me and accept myself. And yeah, so I don't know, that I just feel like I went on a rant. But I'm trying to keep these videos under 5 minutes. And also like I'm trying to do a thing where I don't re-record, but just press play and then just record everything straight on. And if I make mistakes, then I make mistakes. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to keep this under 5 minutes. Maybe tomorrow I will. All right, guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And thank you for listening to me rant. And I'll see you maybe tomorrow. Bye. Oh, actually, maybe not tomorrow because tomorrow is Sunday and I'm gonna be busy. Maybe I'll record this on Monday. Okay. Bye, guys.